the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend of his own time. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth. What's up, everybody? It's Trudy Ron Kelly, the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program for Thursday. Boy, I haven't seen you guys in a while. You missed me? Of course you did. It's just a couple of minutes past the hour. You know, I almost forgot how to put this thing together. So I'm a couple of minutes late. It's about 5 minutes past the hour. But anyway, everybody, welcome. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Brought to you in part by Amica and Porterfield Transportation and Tasha's Caribbean Restaurant. So what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's going on with you? I haven't seen you in about a month. I haven't really been on the air. You know, sometimes you got to take a little break and what they call it, woosah, you know. So, yeah. So, anyway, everybody, it's great to see you guys right back here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. And shout out to my people down at WBOK 1230 AM in New Orleans. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Charlotte, I hope you're feeling better. Praying for you, sister, every day of the week. Praying for your restoration to good health. Man, I tell you, you know, shout out to my son, R. Kelly Jr. I just talked to him a couple of days ago. He's got his own podcast too. You know, he's following in Pop's footsteps. So, you know, it's totally different from mine, but you know, he's got the fever too. Anyway, everybody, it's a couple minutes past the hour. So welcome back to him right here on the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Coming back on the air after being on for a couple of weeks. Hey, shout out to Lamont and shout out to Lamont and Stephanie. Somebody married Lamont. Wow. Anyway, yeah, shout out to Lamont and Stephanie on their nuptials. I guess you could call it. Yeah, nuptials. Yeah, nuptials. Lamont and Stephanie Gates now, I guess. Freitas hyphen Gates and Lamont Gates. Congratulations on your wedding. I didn't get invited. I mean, come on, man. We really? But anyway, shout out to Lamont Gates and his new bride, Stephanie. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to them. Anyway, it's a couple minutes past the hour. So yeah, about 4 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock Eastern time. It's 3 o'clock, I believe, in LA with the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. It's on LA Talk Radio. The LATalkRadio.com, all over the place. Blog Talk Radio, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, just all over the place. Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. So, you know, these days, right? You know, I mentioned I talked to my son, and I mentioned that I was talking to my son. My son is 35. And he grew up in this internet time period, you know, where the internet controls everything. You know, and I told him, I'm glad I didn't grow up, you know, I'm glad I didn't grow up during the internet explosion. I was already grown by the time the internet came around. So I'm so glad that I didn't grow up with Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and all this type of stuff. And I told him, I said, man, because he's old Pop, you know, you've been around for a while. And yeah, I have been around for a while, but, you know, I appreciate the fact that I didn't grow up with. I appreciate the fact that I didn't grow up with the internet. See, because the internet is like destroyed. The internet is like destroyed everybody. You know, back in the day, you know, we had to see each other. if I wanted to see one of my friends, I had to go to their house, and they had to come to my house. So we didn't do the internet because I have friends I've known for years. I mean, I can't really call them friends. People I've known for years who, people I've known for a long time who I don't even really talk to that much anymore on the phone. It's all text messages, text this, text that, text the other. And I'm so glad, and I'll tell you why. That I'm glad that I didn't grow up during the internet era because, nowadays, it's all text messages, it's all internet. So it's not that important that we see each other in person like we used to, like back in the day when I was a little kid growing up. We didn't have an internet, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have Twitter or any of this stuff, or X or what they call it now. And we had to actually see each other. We had to go to each other's houses. I used to go to my friend's house. And they used to come to my house. And we had to actually see each other. But these days, you don't even have to see a person. You could be on the internet. You can be, internet, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever. And you can, there's so many different ways to contact people these days that you don't really actually need to see the person. So when I was growing up, you didn't have Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We didn't have text messages. You didn't have cell phones, and it wasn't that long ago now. Cell phones have just really started to come around in the last 30 years or so. So we had to, back in the day, we had to actually see each other. We had to be in each other's presence, be in each other's company, so to speak. And now you really don't have to do that. So I'm happy that I didn't grow up in this internet era. Where on the internet, there's so many things, there's so many corruptible things there's so many things that can corrupt you. So fast forward to what I want to talk about. Facebook once again being sued. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all these entities being sued for what they're allegedly doing to kids. And you know what? I don't agree with this stuff. I don't agree that Facebook should be responsible for your kid. I don't think that Instagram should be responsible for your kid. See, it's another dodge the bullet type of thing where families are escaping responsibility for monitoring their kids. And now Facebook, Meta, and Instagram and these things are having to pay fines because people can't control their kids, basically. That's what it is. People can't control their kids. So what do they do? They fine Meta, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and all these type of things because they can't control their children. And I totally don't agree that Facebook and TikTok and some of these places, some of these internet landing spots should be paying because you can't control your kid. Because back in the day when we were told, not to do something, we didn't do it. And see, it's a good thing they didn't have the internet to tempt us with all of this, with some of the things that are on there. They're just not right. So, let me just send this to Stephanie. Shout out to Stephanie and Lamont Gates. Yeah. So, So we had there was no internet, and I'm glad we didn't have any internet because we weren't not corrupted like a lot of these kids are watching this stuff. They having these breakouts and these where they gather together like 5,000 or 6,000, 10,000 people, and they arrange it over the internet, and they had these things where these teen mobs where they overrun the mall or whatever the place may, whatever the case may be. So, so I'm glad, like I told my son, I'm glad I didn't grow up in this area because he did grow up in And he grew up in the 90s. He was born in 1990. So he grew up in this era of internet stuff, Instagram and all of these type of things. He grew up in this era. And I told him the other day, I said, look, man, I'm glad I didn't grow up in this era because, because all the temptations, all the distractions, all that's going on in the world right now. You got stuff going on. These people are meeting up with their cars, the car meetups, and they're taking over intersections and stuff, and burning rubber and spinning wheels and all this type of stuff. So, hey, I'm good with how I came up. Anyway, everybody, it's a couple minutes past the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. On a Thursday, it's August 27th already, and time is slipping. So like I was saying about a month ago, I said, if there's something you need to do, you better go ahead and get it done. So we'll take a break and we'll come back because I'm winded already. I haven't been around in a while, but we'll take a break and we'll come back with more of the program. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com. And Ron Kelly. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Everybody, we're back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, just WBLK 12:30 a.m. in New Orleans, just all over the place. So welcome back. I've been gone for a while, about a month, and it's nice to be back. Which way am I moving? Okay. Yeah. It's nice to be back with you guys after such a long break. Anyway, everybody, it's Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's 13 minutes past the hour. So somebody, I don't think I can make a whole segment out of this, but Texas Roadhouse. And I like Texas Roadhouse. I like Texas Roadhouse. But somebody mentioned this to me, that there was something about, there were people who were saying that they were spitting in the food of black folks, prepared food, good food they had at Texas Roadhouse. I was told that they're spoiling it by somebody spitting in the food. Now, how many times have we gone through this? How many episodes? Domino's and McDonald's and Wendy's, just about every fast food business is out there has had these accusations made, where the people who are preparing the food are spitting in the food of certain people of African-American persuasion. So we've heard this before, and I like Texas Roadhouse. I'm a big time Texas Roadhouse fan, and we've heard this stuff before, with just about everybody, So I'm like, I was talking to somebody about it earlier. Shout out to Yvette down in Maryland. And I'm like, we've talked about this before. So this, you don't know what people are doing behind the scenes. I don't even want to think about it, because if I keep thinking about it, I'll never go to another restaurant again unless I can go back there and watch the person prepare the food, which we really can't do. But this is something that's been going on for a long time, where accusations have been made that people are spitting in the food Uh, it's in just about every fast food situation that's out there has been accused of it. So, I try not to think about it that much because, like I said, if I next time I go to a restaurant and I start thinking about who might be spitting in the food, I may get up and leave. So, I guess the cure to that would be to go to the hibachi restaurant where they cook the food like right on the table in front of you. That would be the cure-all where you know what's happening. But other than that, you don't know what people are doing behind the scenes in those restaurants. So, like I said, I really don't want to think about it because I just won't ever go to another restaurant again if I start thinking about what's going on behind the scenes. So anyway, everybody, it's what am I doing here? Oh, okay, yeah, it's a few minutes past the hour. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show .com. Lots going on, man. Lots and poor Trump. Let me address him for a minute. Poor Trump, because he Iran is still standing. What a big waste of time. What a poorly managed, what a poorly situation with what happened with Iran. Because Iran's just a little country. Can't even begin to put up a fight against the might of the United States military, which is the greatest, most technologically advanced in the world. And somehow or another, Iran has still managed to survive despite the bombardment, Trump's bluster, and we're going to make the Strait of Hormuz the Strait of America, all of this nonsense, and Iran is still standing. What a big blunder. What a waste of time this has been. Waste of time and resources. So you got to wonder, with the gas prices shot up shortly after the United States and Iran started engaging in this war. And you got to wonder if the wool is being pulled over our eyes. You got to wonder if it's a money grab. You got to wonder. Because they talk about the Illuminati and the 1% of the people who control 99% of the wealth of the world. And, and you got to wonder, like, is this a money grab? Is this, somebody behind the scenes, puppet master is manipulating the system? Because look what happened. Now, Iran, all the oil that comes here is not from Iran. The oil comes here. Venezuela is a major oil producer. Some of the other countries, major oil producers. So, and we don't even buy oil from Iran. The United States does not do business with Iran. So why did the gas prices go up when Iran and America engaged in this so-called war? Why did the prices go up? Is my question. Because we don't even do business with Iran. So did the price go up? Because anytime there's a disruption in the pipeline, the prices go up. And oil, fuel is the only commodity where the price rises and falls. The only one. Because they raise the price of electricity and natural gas, you have to get permission. So is this a manipulation of the system? Is this a money grab? You have to start thinking about that. Is this a money grab? Is this the Illuminati? Is somebody behind the scenes, coming up with this stuff? Because look at what happened. It's ridiculous. Look at what happened. Trump started this war with Iran. And the general consensus was that he started to take everybody's attention off of Jeffrey Epstein. that was the consensus in the beginning, that he did this to take the eyes off of the Jeffrey Epstein thing. But it could have been, maybe the oil companies have conspired, because every time there's a war, somebody benefits. And the oil companies are probably loving this, because look at the price of gas now, over $4 in most places. Some places $5. Here in New Jersey, where the Ron Kelly Show originates, gas is usually, lower than most places. But our gas is $4 a gallon now. So who's doing this? Who's manipulating the system? Who's behind the scenes? Is this a money grab? Are the oil companies conspiring? Are the oil companies conspiring to raise oil prices and gas prices? You got to think about that. For 46 years now, since 1980, American Porter for Transportation has been providing safe and reliable transportation to and from your destination, family reunions, school trips, school districts, casino trips, senior trips, you name medical transportation, you single child transportations back and forth to school, you name it, American Porterfield can handle it. Just give them a call. Now, it's 908-753-6423. That's 908-753-6423. Or you can email them at amaker.porterfield@verizon.net. That's amaker.porterfield. Do I need to spell that for you? amaker.porterfield@verizon.net. Take a break, come back with more in a few minutes. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com. Alrighty then, welcome back. It's Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, WBOK 1230 a.m. in New Orleans. It's what New Orleans is talking about, WBOK 1230 a.m. New Orleans. I got to get down there. I think I'm going to go down there for my birthday. Because I believe that the Mardi Gras is February, from what I understand. Mardi Gras is in February. So I think I'm going to try to go down there, leave all my money and everything home. Leave all your possessions home when you go down there. Leave all your possessions home. Anyway, 25 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock is the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. So Carmelo Anthony, not the basketball player, but the other one, to stab the kid, and down in Texas, stabbed the kid. He was at a basketball, something with basketball, some kind of sports gathering of different teams. And he was allegedly, I mean, the way the story has been told, that he was the way the story's been told, he was in a locker room situation. Yeah. And he stabbed the kid, stabbed the white kid, killed him. So now, tried and convicted, got a football numbers sentence. So now, then he was denied a new trial. Tried and failed. His lawyers tried to get a new trial. No. Judges, Supreme Court, whatever, Supreme Court, Texas said no. Now, I'll tell you, I have mixed feelings about this, about Carmelo Anthony. Shout out to Stephanie and Lamont. Stephanie and Lamont got married. What a surprise. And I didn't get an invite. So no gift for you, Lamont. Yeah, shout out to them. But Carmelo Anthony was convicted of murder, stabbed this white boy. What were you doing with a knife? You see, I know people are like, people are. Let me see if my sound is on. People are. Hold on, take a break and come back. Let me take a quick break and I'll come back with more. Let me see what's going on here. Take a break, come back with more. So Ron Kelly Talk Radio. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go.
George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
All right, everybody, back is the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show. RonKellyShow.com. Am I on Facebook? Let me see here. No, something's wrong. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show, and it's on. Okay, the sound is good. Okay, sound is good. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. At 30 minutes, halfway past through the show, halfway through the hour of between 7 and 8 o'clock at the time, the Ron Kelly Show airs right here all over the place. LA Talk Radio, blogtalkradio.com, Facebook, The Ron Kelly Show, YouTube, The Ron Kelly Show. Just all over the place, just everywhere. Anyway, everybody, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me once again. Shout out to Stephanie and Lamont Gates on their marriage. You know what? I'm going to get married again one of these days. I just don't know when. Anyway, everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me in the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. 31 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And so Carmelo Anthony, the black kid that stabbed the white kid, was denied a new trial. Because there's not a lot to defend here, you know. And people be saying I'm a hater, I'm a self-hater, I hate myself and all this stuff. But, you know, there's not a lot to defend here because he had a knife, you know. And the last thing you want to do is take a knife to school. Carmelo Anthony took a knife to school and then he used it. So there's not a lot to defend here, you know. There's not a lot to defend because you stabbed the kid. You know you shouldn't have brought a knife to school. You know, but there's people out there who think that he got railroaded. There's people out there who actually think that Carmelo Anthony was railroaded. And you know, I just don't see it. I don't see where Carmelo Anthony was so, you know, was I don't see it. Anyway, everybody, it's just 28 minutes before the hour. And so, yeah, so he didn't. So he tried to get a new trial. Didn't get a new trial. He's not going to get a new trial. And you know, I'm hard pressed to think that he should get a new trial because he killed somebody. Anyway, you see a little thing on the side to my left. You know, you can like, subscribe to the Ron Kelly Show on YouTube, or you can like the Ron Kelly Show on Facebook or Instagram, wherever I show up at. It's Ron Kelly Radio on TikTok as well. So yes, I don't think you should get a new trial. But anyway, yeah, I was telling my son, you know, I think that, yeah, I'm happy that I don't have to, you know, I didn't grow up during those times with the internet. Very happy. Because there was enough going on out there when I was younger. We didn't need the internet. Anyway, everybody, the views and opinions expressed here are those of myself and R. Kelly Media Enterprises LLC, and are not those of my advertisers or my support team. You know, Tasha's Caribbean and Soul Restaurant, located in East Orange, New Jersey, has like the best Caribbean and soul food you want to taste. So, you know, you can put in your order. You can order online. TashasCaribbeanSoul.com/order. That's TashasCaribbeanSoul.com/order. Shout out to my tax guy, Jose Aranazas Tax Service. Look him up. Aranazas Tax Service. ARANAZAS. Aranazas Tax Service, Clifton, New Jersey. Look him up. He's been my guy for years. Attentive to detail. Does a great job. And I never get in any trouble. So, you know, he does his works by the book. So I could give him a holler. Aranazas Tax Service, Clifton, New Jersey, for those of you who live around here in the overcrowded state of New Jersey. And shout out to the families, man. Wow. Shout out to the families. How devastating was that? The two ladies how devastating was ladies who were killed yesterday. Two ladies when they attacked a trailer. Roads are dangerous, man. You know, I'm on the road every day. Roads are dangerous. These two ladies were killed. It was Tuesday morning when a tractor trailer flipped over on their car. Now something happened. I mean, this driver, the driver did something wrong. The two ladies were killed. This was Tuesday. The tractor trailer. Now, they're saying is he was in the left lane. He shouldn't have been in the left lane anyway. Tractor trailer shouldn't be in the left lane. Now, so obviously he wasn't paying attention because the driver is responsible for this one. And I drive, and I know how it is out there, but this driver is responsible for this one because he approached this Chevrolet sedan, stopped in traffic in the left lane, and he was supposed to be in the left, the Chevrolet, but the truck overturned onto the car. So Aisha Wright, 42-year-old Aisha Wright, and 25-year-old Kendra Rouse were killed when the tractor trailer flipped over on them. And see, this is the thing about life, man. You know, you never know. I mean, you just have to be vigilant, especially here in New Jersey. New Jersey, the most populated state in America. You definitely have to be careful here. You know, there's cars everywhere. And I kind of understand. I mean, I don't agree with it, subscribe to it, but I do understand that how this New Jersey has the highest insurance rates because people are nuts around here. Some of y'all probably, you know, because what we do is we wait till the last minute before we leave to go somewhere. And now it's everybody else's fault that I can't get where I'm trying to go. You know, so now we're rushing, beeping, speeding, flying around. I see it all day because I'm out there on the road all day, you know, at my job. And I see how people be acting stupid here in New Jersey. It's just crazy. Anyway, we take a break and come back with more of the program. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. And it's on blogtalkradio.com and RonKelly.com. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go.
George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
All right, everybody, we're back. It's the Ron Kelly Show. It's about 20 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock. Just about to, about 20 minutes before the hour. Just about to 8 o'clock, everybody. The Ron Kelly Talk Radio. About 20 minutes before the hour. Okay, yeah, the sound is good. All right, the sound is good. Yeah. So shout out to Aisha Wright and Miss Rouse. 42 and 25 years old with a tractor trailer flipped over on him. Man, you just don't know. I mean, enjoy every moment that you are alive because you don't know when the curtain is going to come down on you like it did on these two ladies, unfortunately, on Tuesday morning, I-78 eastbound. The driver was definitely at fault. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it. The driver was at fault because he didn't see that car. And first of all, he was in the left lane. And trucks are not supposed to be in the left lane, tractor trailers especially. That's number one. And number two, he wasn't paying attention because he had to swerve to avoid hitting the car that was in front of him, and he wound up running them and flipping the truck over on these two ladies, and the two ladies had died. So his career is over. And rightfully so. It should be. Because he wasn't paying attention. Anyway, so it's 20 minutes past before the hour of 7 o'clock. So yeah, so you got to wonder, why the gas prices are up so high. You got to wonder, is this a conspiracy? Because Trump, we should have been able to destroy Iran. See, this thing exposes the United States. And the United States is looking pretty stupid right now to the rest of the world. And for the countries that like North Korea and some of the other people, they look at this like, wait a minute, what's up with this? What's wrong with this picture? Because the United States should have been able to bring Iran to its knees, and it hasn't done that. It hasn't done it. And, it's crazy. It hasn't done that. And Iran is still, popping mess. And, Trump is still trying to, it's so stupid. So you got to wonder, why have the war in the first place? Why did this even come up in the first place? Why? Why did this come up in the first place? It just shouldn't have. Because, it's almost like it was a money grab. Like somebody said, okay, I know how we can make some extra money. I know how we can make some extra money. Let's start a war and raise gas prices. Just look what happened. Look what happened. So, I think that it was a money grab. I think that somebody said, you know what, let's, somebody said, let's make some money. And this is what happened. Anyway, everybody, it's about 17 minutes before the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. So I think something's going on with that. It's 12 minutes before the show is going to be over. It's 17 minutes before the hour. So the first Navajo person, it's just think about this transgender stuff. Men who say they're in the wrong body, women who say they're in the wrong body with this transgender nonsense. Because back in the day, back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, men would cross-dress, do cross-dresses, and they would do it in the privacy of their homes, wear women's lingerie and stuff like that. And now I don't advocate for that, but that's what they did back in the day. But when the sun rose and they went to work, they put on their madness, but they cross-dressed in their spare time, in their private time. See, fast forward to 2026, it's just ridiculous what's going on right now with this transgender, where men are claiming to be women and women are claiming to be men. It's just unbelievable the way this is happening right now. And, so if you're against it, the first thing people try to say is that you're transphobic, meaning that you're bigoted against transgender people, which couldn't be any further from the truth, But it's just because they say that sex and gender are two different things. Sex and gender are two different things, they say. But now, when you if you so why okay if sex and gender are two different things, if you can feel like a person, or you can feel like a man, or you feel like a woman, then why you need to change your sexual stuff? Because they got the bottom surgery where it's just it just boggles my mind where they have the bottom surgery. Bottom surgery meaning that they take skin, live skin from your forearm. So when you're mutilating yourself, raw skin from your forearm to make a penis out of it. So if sex and gender are not the same, then why do you have to make a penis? And it's not really a penis. It's I don't know what it is.